Knocking back on my tea. Hi, my name's Joel. I'm an original employee. I answer all the customer service emails as well as the phones. I help out with our wholesale accounts and pretty much anything else that's going on around here. But today I'm going to help you guys learn how to take apart your original Longboard S Series trucks. So the first thing we're going to go over with your trucks is obviously what all the parts are called and what you can expect when you take your truck apart. There's two main parts to your trucks. The first one is your hanger. The hanger is what determines the truck size. It's either an S6 150mm hanger, we have an S8 200mm hanger, and an S10 250mm hanger. This is the main part of the truck that's different from truck to truck. All of the other parts are the same, so that's a key factor to know. We also have the second large part, which is the base plate on the truck. This is the part that actually attaches to the underside of your deck. We've got the tension springs. We have our standard black tension springs, our red medium tension springs, and our white heavy tension springs. We also have the kingpin and kingpin nut, which is what holds your truck together. We have a set of wave cams. The wave cams are what give the truck its characteristic motion. We've got two washers, one with a large inner diameter hole and another with a small inner diameter hole. And then the last piece that we've got is the lock tab. The lock tab is what goes into your wave cams and holds the kingpin nut in place when you're tightening or loosening your trucks. So as far as the parts go, that's all there is. The only tool that you'll need today to take apart your truck is your longboard adjustment key, more commonly known as a hex key or Allen key. It's the only tool that you're going to need to do this because the lock tab holds that kingpin nut. So we might as well get started here and take apart a truck. You're going to take your hex key and you're going to loosen the kingpin. And we start to back the kingpin out. Remember, righty tighty, lefty loosey, as Mom always said. Once it stops moving, which it did just there, you can see it's not coming out of the truck any further, we can just take the kingpin and pull it right out of the truck. And that's also going to loosen up your kingpin nut, and the lock tab can come off. And a lot of times when you do that, that's also going to loosen up half of the wave cam. So we can pull that off as well. Set that down. Now basically what you need to do is slide the hanger out of the base plate. The base plate is only notched on one side, so you're gonna have to slide this out, not to this side, but to the side with the notch in it. And be careful when you do this because all the parts are gonna come apart now, so you don't wanna drop anything. Work the hanger out of the base plate, and now they come apart. And usually what happens is that's gonna free up your small diameter washer, and your hanger is going to come out, and on the hanger you're going to have your tension spring off of the hanger. Set that aside. And then our second washer, which is our large inner diameter washer, we can take that off the hanger. And then you're going to be left with your base plate, and your base plate is going to have the second half of the wave cam, which we can just slide right out of the base plate. Set that down, and now your truck is completely apart. So it's a pretty simple process. It's just knowing how to restack these parts to put the truck back together. The way I like to do this is like to start with the hanger and work from there. We take our large diameter washer and place it back on that stud there. Then your standard tension spring, or whatever tension spring you might be putting back on, goes on top of that, and we'll set that down for right now. The next thing you want to do is to stack up our base plate. So we take the two pieces of our wave cam and put them back together, and this is going to be greasy, and you want it to be greasy with white lithium grease, so you're going to get that on your fingers, but that's what makes the truck operate smoothly. You're going to take your lock tab and the nut that goes on the end of your kingpin and place that back, which is just presses right in. It should click back in there. We'll start out by sliding this piece back into your base plate, just like that, and that just fits right in. And if you notice, the grooves again on the base plate and the wave cam line up. And now we take our hanger, and we have to slide our hanger back into the base plate. Now, if you're unsure of the orientation of how the hanger is going to go into the base plate, we can use another truck as an example. So we'll set our two base plates together so they're a similar orientation, and now we can kind of take a look at our hanger and see how the hanger is supposed to slide back in there. So what we'll do is we'll take our hanger and our base plate, and we have to take our small inner diameter washer and stack it on top of the spring, just like that. And again, this is loose, so this will slide, so you want to hang on to that. And we're going to slide this back into the base plate while holding on to that washer. And it takes a little bit of fidgeting. You can pick up your truck and tap the end of the hanger on a table or something to get it to slide in. And once the hanger's back in place, it kind of clicks in there. We can take our kingpin, which is right here, and slide the kingpin back into the truck. But you kind of can wobble it back in there, and this should slide right back down in. Once the kingpin's in, you want to take your kingpin nut, which just popped off the end of that lock tab. It's not actually supposed to stay in there like that, but we're going to thread that back on the end here. Once that's threaded back on there, we can align the kingpin nut with the dimensions on the lock tab, as well as the lock tab with the slot on the base plate, and then just thread this whole assembly back together with our longboard adjustment key. And just kind of crank that down, and you'll notice as you crank down on the truck, your hanger is going to right itself. It's not going to flop around anymore, and it'll sit more tighter, and your truck's not going to wobble. So now you've got to just crank it down a little bit to your desired tightness. I like about around 1/8 of an inch sticking out of my wave cam there, and you're good to go. Your truck's back together, ready to be put back on a deck. So that's the ins and outs of taking apart a S Series longboard truck. I hope you guys picked up a few things on here, but that's pretty much it. Done. Done.